does not give
no
a
fuck.
No,
about
I came
masks.
from rural North Carolina,
Yeah.
buddy.
Like,
I gotcha.
Nobody
They're
out there
not
gives a
going
fuck.
down, dude.
And so it's like, but
when we were out in the Northwoods,
they have the signs though.
When we were out in Northwoods of Wisconsin, it was like places where it was specifically like, yo, we ain't fucking with masks.
If you got a mask on, take that shit off.
Take that shit off.
They were just like, if you don't like it, don't fucking shop
Bitch,
here.
boy,
But,
take that fucking mask off, boy.
Like, they
Yeah.
just don't care.
It was
But,
so
I mean,
funny.
feel
I walked
that.
into this bowling alley behind our RV park, and it said on the thing, "Mask required." So I put my mask on. I walk in, and I'm looking around. And there's nobody really wearing masks, but there's a lot of people at tables too. So I was like, well, I guess if you're at your table. But then I quickly realized, I was looking around, I'm the only person with even like wearing a mask at all. Like not just over your face, but like nobody even has them on their person.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Okay, well, I see what's going on here. And then I asked the guy, he was like, oh, yeah, we legally, to be open, we have to have that sign on the door.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like, obviously, nobody comes by and, like, checks or anything. And so, yeah, like, they're ticking the box. They're ticking the box to make sure that they can do same thing with the bars
or
and
anybody,
restaurants.
anybody, yeah.
Like, right now, if you're serving food, you can be open. But you can't just serve alcohol. So if you serve fries and that's the only thing you got, you could technically be open because you're technically a restaurant. And
this
it's like
is why I'm never for the voting of regulation to solve our problems. Right?
Yeah.
Like it said, like I don't think the problem of social media or any of things is solved by regulation because that's people are gonna check. I gotta sit outside, fine, and they just move their whole store outside. Doesn't give a shit. It's not like really distancing anybody or anything. Like you said, I mean, people are out in Texas. You can go to the club, you can go to bars and stuff as long as you got a mask on. It's like whatever. And it's like. You know, it's a clown game, and people are always going to try and find a way to circumnavigate it or get around it to do whatever they want, period. Because it does work in a sense, right? It does work in a sense. So, for example, when we were talking about, I only wear a mask because people make me, right? Flat out. Like, that's just my personal choice. Yeah. I just don't care. Like, I'm here for it. It's whatever. But since they make me, I do it. But as soon as I don't have to, that shit comes off, you know? And so it's like you can't really regulate me into
the little person that you want me
to be, right? Like I'll do whatever I got to do to play the dance, but outside of that, it's like it's not really effective in swaying people's mentality of like trying to help or trying to change or trying to fix something.
I've felt it pull on me before, where I've had like a little tug at me because like it's really hard as an averagely intelligent person to know everything about everything that's going on with COVID-19. We can all
with anything as we're learning.
With anything as we're learning, we can speculate, but like. If you held a gun to my head and said, do you think a mask helps you during COVID-19 or not? And like, I wouldn't be able to give you a straight answer because I just don't know enough.
Really know. Yeah.
But I've felt the social tug by going into a place where I knew I was going to go into this gas station multiple times and going in and seeing like, okay, I'm wearing a mask because it says wear a mask. And like, I look and the guy behind the counter is not wearing a mask. And I'm like, man, that guy behind the counter probably interacts with a lot of people, you know? And if this is real, he's taking a risk by not wearing a mask. Should I come back in here or should I go to another gas station? What amount of like convenience do I lose? What if I only have to go just across the street, right? I'm probably going to go across the street if everybody across the street is wearing masks. So I felt that social tug of like, maybe this is real. Maybe it's fear based because maybe this is real and maybe I am putting myself more at risk by going to this other gas station. So maybe I should change my routines. So I felt that tug, and I don't know what the right answer is. I don't think any of us do, but they are influencing me.
Yeah,
they are influencing me. They are making me judge other people. Like not making, but they're
You're inclined to do that.
I'm inclined to judge people now and their businesses based on what kind of risk they take, whether or not that risk is real.
This is why net loss every time you try and bring violence into this situation, right? Because and you were talking about this a little bit too about voting against or for it. Like that's my thing. Like personal choice here. Given all the statistics and all the things, I don't know. You don't know either. You know what I mean? We're all just trying to make the best inference we can. And so this is my personal choice. But I despise when other people out there like, oh, I can't believe you'd wear a mask, or like trying to sway
I can't believe you made that personal choice.
Yeah, to not do it or to do it. Like if you want to wear a mask, if you don't want to shop at the store, if you want to stay at home, like you take whatever level of precaution you feel like you have to. Need. Yeah, like that's what every single human does in their own life. Some people go skydiving, other people don't. Right?
Yeah, risk assessment. When you walked out that door without your key or without your phone, you thought about it. You made a risk assessment.
When we all do that, and we're all constantly judging that, and so we're all gonna make our own choices, and that's where I'm at with it. I'm like, look, if you want to make that choice, then that's fine, but you shouldn't have death. Like if some, like, you know what I mean? Like the idea that, oh, he didn't wear a mask, so now he deserves death.
Right.
You know, it's like you didn't listen
Yeah,
to the
with this Trump
propaganda that was
shit.
spilled out everywhere, and then you got the disease. Like, look, people are getting the disease. People wearing masks, people still getting the disease. Everybody's gonna get, you know what I mean? Like, you don't necessarily know why or how. You can't sit here and infer and make all these conjectures of like,
that
well,
shit
if
you
he had
showed
wore a
us.
mask, he wouldn't have got it or some shit. It's
like that lady in that interview you showed us, the ABC lady.
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
like the number of inferences she made,
And-
the fact that she was
Yeah.
like, they were like, well, what's happened since? Have you talked to the Ohio Center where they held the event? And she's like, I contacted the Biden team.
Yeah.
And, you know, they, and I'm like, well, you
I
know,
noticed that all
And
the
they
Biden
told me
people
all
were
of these
wearing
things
Yeah, and I
about
was
the
just-
Trump people.
Yeah.
and she was a
Oh,
guest
did
of
they
the
now?
Biden campaign too, so it's kind of like all these layers of Bernays sauce. They're in there, and if you dig deep enough, you can find them.
Yeah.
But the average person watching that would be like, that poor woman who is subjected to that
Yeah.
viral load.